What's up everybody, it's Kiyodo and welcome back to more SMT Dx2. We're doing some more gacha pulls and this time we're going to be pulling on Daisoujou in their featured banner. So Daisoujou is basically your Kinmammon Plus. It's a 5-star version of it. It has way more flexibility because there are no weaknesses and there are nulls on dark and light, so that can help as long as there's no dark pierce or light pierce. But now that that is meta, I have a feeling that you might be dealing with it. Either way, it reduces the damage. And looking at the skills here, Preach is pretty good. That helps you counter the Charm meta that we have going on right now. And it seems like Charm is getting even bigger, honestly, which is weird because now that Daisouju's in the meta, it doesn't really make that much sense. Cleansing Shout is nice because that is your prayer. It works. And yeah, you're not going to be hit by any ailments, so that's okay. Daisoujou has a lot of good archetypes, so that's something that you could be looking into. It doesn't really matter, you don't have to change it that much. And if you do, there's a lot of flexibility in good archetypes, so yeah, unless you're looking for something very specific. But there are good archetypes in this, and some of them come with some really good transferable skills on top of that. So, looking at the rates, there is only 1% on the 5-star pool, but there is only one demon in the 5-star pool, which is sort of a rare occurrence because it's not something that you see, only one demon in the 5-star pool. That's pretty good. On top of that, there's some upped rates on the Fiends, which includes Matador, one of the newer Fiends. Only good if you have Fizz Pierce, really, and even still, it's sort of just a meme. But we're pulling on Daisoujou just because of the flexibility of the unit, being able to transfer the things that you want to. And it's kind of weird, but the meta is going into more of an ailment type of strategy. And there's still the anti-pierce revive combos out there as well. So basically you're able to cover a few of the options that the defense teams are going to be throwing at you. And so we're going to be pulling on this. Let's just do a couple of these multi-pulls. I think that should be good because honestly, 1%, it's okay. We don't know what's going to be on the next banner. It could be something good. Masakado still seems more necessary, honestly. And that's just kind of how it's always been, though, you know. There's some pretty good 3 stars in here, at least for the skills. Unfortunately, I couldn't say there's anything great. Retaliate, Bolt Storm, like, interesting transferable skills here. I forgot to skip you. What's it gonna be? Mutudi? Oh, that's terrible. You know, they're pretty good. They're pretty good so far. I bet you that one's not gonna be anything that great, so whatever. Ifrit doesn't really give that many good things. Ilyanka, not really sure if you do. Ares does though, so does Red Berserker because Soul Drain. Because Soul Drain's getting changed, I don't think it's that big of a change, to be honest with you. But it is something. I mean, like, those skills that drain HP or MP, they're really lackluster. So I can see why they're not that good. People don't use them. But there's not really any reason to buff that either. So yeah, I'm not sure what direction they're going with like certain skills. But fast recovery, that skill that we just got earlier. Fast recovery seems to be another thing on topic of ailment meta, because no matter what ailment you get hit by, your recovery is based on your own recovery ability. Like, nothing can stop you from recovering less, or you know, less of a chance of recovering, I guess, but you can increase it. So that could be the way to get around a lot of ailments, although it is a skill that you'd have to put into. Fast recovery, epic recovery. I mean, they're good. Fast recovery on itself is good enough. Epic recovery just gives like a slight extra advantage. But maybe that is the way to go. It doesn't really give you that much recovery rate. So I'm not sure how good it is, to be honest. But it could be the future. Well, that would definitely prevent a lot of things, a lot of ailments. But then again, it's all chance too. You never know if you're actually going to break out or not. And the times that you don't, you can't rely on your team to combo. So, could have problems. That's why I'm not so sure about that strategy. You might as well just have a unit that can prayer. And then revive maybe, or bury a break on top of that. So, yeah, that's why Daisoujou is a good unit. Didn't happen to pull it, but it is going to be meta, so you will have to be dealing with that. So look forward to that. Daisoujou, Masakado, plus either like either Cert or Zhonghui are going to be there because of Intimidating Stance. Those are some really good teams that I've seen. Probably V to go with that, or some sort of Rikamja character. So I can see this becoming meta. It's not something that we were dealing with before Daisoujou, but Daisoujou is, like, I guess, creating a new meta, and that's good. So moving on to superior summons, we're just going to go ahead and throw these out. I am going to be saving some files, but not superior files. Gold circle at least, so we did get something out of these. As usual, superior summoning files just tend to be better, honestly. They tend to be better than the featured summons for me. Some people have luck, but it's not working for me, unfortunately. There we go. At least, you know, Purple Odin is sellable, if anything, because I have enough resistances that I can cover what I need. Yeah, so at this point it's just farming karma. So, yeah, if I don't get anything else from here, that's okay. It's gonna be circling through, but then again, gold circle. Good stuff. Karma, because right now I really need shifters. Because looking at the meta right now, I need to shift around a few of my units. I do have a yellow trumpeter, which for PvP isn't ideal. It's good for PvE, but not so much used of a skill. Demon Birth Cry is good, although it's good against bosses, and that's only if you're doing PvE, so I can't say that it is something that you would particularly need. Auto Rakuga, however, really good in PvP. So it could be good against like our gate bosses as well if you're going in first, because there's no waves before that. Anything without a wave before it, it's okay. But purple is eventually I want to move into that. Same thing for Nurgle. I want to make that purple. I have a teal one right now. Teal gives repel light, and that's okay if you're trying to cover for somebody that has a weakness to light. But otherwise, not so much. And light pierce is now a thing, so probably not the greatest unless you're using Olilot, and Olilot isn't as big anymore as it used to be, because we used to have just Olilot Kets in the meta. That was a couple months ago, I want to say. Ever since like Masakato, you know, Masakato's a big deal. Kind of just destroys tanks that revive things, and thus anti-pierce is like a big deal. And I feel like this game is trying to build a lot into anti-pierce, and they're really not doing a good job at it, because all these units that are made to anti-pierce are not really that great at doing it, unfortunately. Like Nekomata Alternative is probably one of the better options for that, and that's not saying too much because it still has a lot of weaknesses on it, possibly because it's a 4-star, but also because they should have a better unit, you know, in general, to deal with Fizz if it's such a big deal. If they won't nerf, which is probably the biggest deal, honestly, is that this game does not nerf, and that's kind of a downside. Although you want to say there's like a power creep, there's a bar that's being set, and it's so high as is. Unless they lower it, they can't really make balanced demons. Otherwise, if they release something that's not broken, then not many people will want it. Now, Daisoujou is something that we were lacking, because it's a unit that's like Kinmammon, but doesn't have weaknesses. But there's not really too many other archetypes that give people trouble, and that could be a problem if they don't nerf. So yeah, I feel like this game should think about doing nerfs, and they should seriously consider doing that soon, because it's losing a lot of players as is, and that's not looking too good for the future if you're looking for the longevity of a game. And I feel like this game could have longevity if it so decides to balance itself, you know. Depends on like how many people they have working on this game, but also how much money, you know, revenue they can actually get from it. And they're not, I feel like their financial plan isn't really working for them if they're trying to lock all these banners behind paywalls. So something that we'd have to look into more so on the financial side, even if it is like a greed thing or a need thing for this company to keep this game alive. So I don't know, debatable. Tell me what you think about that. How about how like fair it is to the free players? Is it fair really? Should there be some changes? And if there are, what are they? So go ahead and put that in the comment section below as well. And probably new things for this game. It looks like they want to add new content to the game, like completely new modes. It's just that we are like a little expectant of what they can actually dish out, and what they're dishing out may be glitchy, and that's not so good. And I don't know. I feel like they're maybe scared to release content too quickly, and maybe they just don't have a team big enough to do it quick enough. So yeah, a lot of questions to be answered. Maybe you guys have some comments, so put them in the comment section. This has been Kiyodo. I'll see you on the next one. Later.